What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Robert with Crankin' Bass TV, back at it again with another video. Today, sticking with the theme of staying indoors because it's too cold outside, we have a little toy here that I've been meaning to fix up for a while. It is an old Shimano Bantam 10X SG. I got this from one of my dad's friends, a really good friend of our family, and he said it wasn't working, but we can try and get it fixed. So I got most of it back into working condition, but I'd still like to clean it up just a little bit more now that I know how to clean baitcasters. So, enough talking, enough jibber jabber. Let's get right into cleaning this old baitcaster. Alright, we got our baitcaster here. I already have it spooled up because I was test casting it the other day. It wasn't really casting that far, it was just getting it out there, you know? So I'm just going to be cleaning it like I usually do all my other baitcasters, with grease and oil. I think all the things that I need are here, like screwdrivers, tweezers, cotton swabs, don't need that, little paintbrush to get on the grease, or grease and oil, and something to get the bolt off. I personally like using these so I don't round out the bolt, so I can keep it in good condition. Alright, I think we have everything, so let's get right into cleaning up this old baitcaster. Okay, so to start, it looks like I've already torn this thing open once. Whenever you go into this side, it doesn't do anything, it just takes off the side plate, so there's no reason to be touching this side. So our main focus is going to be on this side. Now, one thing I realized whenever you're cleaning baitcasters is that you really need to be nice and neat about it so you don't go losing parts. So I have a nice little towel here so I can set all my parts out nice and neat, and I can see them all. So let's get right into taking this thing apart. Alright, we got our handle off. I don't really like this handle, it's really slippery, but I'm going to keep it the way it was before, so I'm not going to replace it with any aftermarket parts. Okay, so that looks like everything's off of here that I can, so now all I need to do is unscrew these things and unscrew these screws. So let's get right into it. Alright, we got all the screws taken off, so now we should just be able to pop this off nice and easy. And voila, we are in the undercover. So, whenever you look in here, you really just see everything normal. You have your cam here, you got your yoke, you got whatever that is, you got your main gear, worm gear, stuff like that. Most of this stuff looks like it's covered in a bunch of yucky grease and crap. Now, one thing that is very interesting to me about this all is that there's no bearings in this. That means there's no like anti-reverse bearing. So instead of an anti-reverse bearing, they just have an anti-reverse claw, which grabs onto that little thing right there and makes sure it can't go backwards. So anyways, let's just get all this main crap off. Go. And this little part here should pop right off. We have our little part there. I'm going to set that down nice and easy. As you can see here, my hands are covered in a bunch of gross, yucky gunk. I can just take that little part off. Look at that. All covered in gross gunk, yucky grease. It has probably never been changed in its lifetime, now that I look at it. So let's just go ahead right into cleaning this thing off. So I'm just going to wipe off all this old grease on my grease right here. Clean all that old yucky grease off. That looks pretty good. Looks nice and clean. Now we're going to take one of our Q-tips. I got nice little Star Wars ones. There we go. Alright. Usually you should have a lot more than I do, but you probably won't need them. Take our little Q-tip and just swab right up and around here where all that contact is made with the spool, and right around the edges here. Clean off as much of that crap as we can. Okay, now that we got all that, I'm going to take, what do I want here? Let's see. We're just going to take some oil, rub it around in there to help reduce the friction. Okay, so we got all that main crap out. Good. Sweet. Alright, so here is our worm gear. I don't know if you can see that down in there. Hold on. This little thing that makes your eyelet move back and forth. So we're just going to take that out, which I forgot requires me to take off this side plate right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here is the side plate. Alright, to get to this worm gear we have to take off the C-clip, which I hate a lot because they can go flying everywhere. I don't really have a skill on how to do this, like I don't have any tricks or hints on how to take this off. If any of you do, let me know in the comments below, but I really don't have any idea on how to take these off nice and easy. So we're just going to take... There we go. There's our C-clip. Now we have to take this little part off right here. Hopefully it pops off nice and easy. It should just come right out. And if we did that right, we should be able to just take our worm gear and pull it right. Come on. Pull the worm gear right out of its container. We're just going to push everything nice back and neat, right back in there, and we're just going to set that down. So, by the looks of it, we have a completely stripped down Baitcaster. Alright, so how about we start by cleaning out the little bit of a worm gear we got here. So I'm just going to take my Q-tip and just rub it, try and get in all those gaps there. Take out all that old yucky grease. Oh yeah, all that old grease. So now we can take... Now some people like using oil since they say it's easier to clean out, but I'm just going to use a little bit of grease and rub it right in the worm gear. There we go. Just like that. Get it all nice and greased up. Nothing too crazy. You don't want globs of it everywhere, so you just need to work it in nice and even. Because if you have globs, it's just going to make it hard. It's just going to do the reverse effect of what you want it to. It'll just make it harder for it to move. So now that we got that replaced, we can set that right, I mean not replaced, like cleaned up. Now that we got that, let's just take our Q-tip here and just clean out this little holder for the worm gear. So we're just going to clean that out. Clean that out nice and good. Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. Clean out the eyelet while we're at it as well. And that should do. Okay, now we can put our worm gear back into position. There we go. It's through. Just going to take our little piece right there. And that is the worm gear nice and clean. So now, there we go. Nice and clean, just what we need. Alright, now I believe we are good to put back on this little side plate. Okay, so we got that nice and put back on, nice and snug. So now we can work on putting this back in. So, usually for the spool, I'll just put a nice fresh layer of grease on it. So I'll take my little thing, a little grease, just poke it in there nice and easy. Don't want too much. Like I said before, you don't need too much, just a little bit of a coat, and just wipe it on there, nice and easy. Make sure you get all the globs off. Nice and easy. Do the same thing to the other side. And set that down. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of an oil and put it right down in that little bronze spot down there. Just a little drop. Help it move a little bit easier. So now we can take our spool and drop it, hopefully, right back in there, nice and smooth. And that is our spool put back into place. So now we can take this little guy right here and pop it right back over top of our cover. Now look at that, we got a nice and clean thing. Now, we're just gonna take the little shaft right there. Where's my grease? I'm just gonna grease up the shaft a little bit. That's what she said. Just another little thin layer of it. No need to go crazy with it. Lubricate it right in there where it's moving. Help it move nice and easy. Lubricate it right there, right there. Just a little layer. No need to go too crazy with it. There we go. We'll lubricate up this little part right there. Now usually, whenever I'm going to do this, I'm going to take our little ball boy there and clean that out, because that looks pretty bad. Alright, we got that nice and cleaned off now. We can take this, clean this off as well. I forgot about that. Just clean that off. It looks already pretty clean, so I'm just not going to worry about it. We're going to take it and put it right back where we got it. Alright, we're looking good, we're looking good. We're getting it back together piece by piece. Alright, we're on the home stretch. We got the side plate put back on. Now I can take our drag and just work that right back on top. Nice cleaned up reel. I don't know why, but it feels like a lot better. Now, let's go test it. Let's go test. Alright, we got our little Baitcaster here. Like before, it was barely able to reach the little fire pit. See how well it does that. Got it on. This is what I actually came on the Berkeley power pole. It's a 5/6 rod, and the action is super strong, so you know it's really good. Neon tip, I don't know why, but enough talking. Let's just see how well this thing casts. Holy crap. This thing had a full spool before, and it just dumped it. I mean, this thing's pretty good. I gotta give it to it. For as old as it is, it's pretty good. Let's try that again. Let's just... I think I had the wind behind me. Yeah, I had the wind behind me. That's okay. Okay, test number 2. I think I need to tighten up the cast control. Okay, so we got that fixed. Tighten down the cast control now. Let's see if I can do that again. Ready? 3, 2, 1, 2. Alright, that wasn't bad. Honestly, I think this is doing a little bit better than most of the cheaper, newer combos. So yeah, I'm impressed at how well it's actually working. Just a little bit of noise. Sounds like it's kind of struggling, but other than that, yeah. Alright, well, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and comment down below if you did. If you didn't like it, go ahead and leave a dislike in a comment. Tell me how much you hated this. Well, other than that, we have successfully brought back to life the Shimano bantam. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.